What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to MLB Swing for the Fences here on Monday, June 16th. Game Log Monday edition, but missing one of the big three. JT not able to join us today. But we got Big T in the house. I'm Draft Cheat, of course. And talking Monday's 7-game baseball slate. Big T, how you doing on this Monday afternoon?
Not as good now that I found out JT's not here for Game Log Mondays. I meant to change the graphic too to get us to Game Log Mondays, but forgot, unfortunately. And now he's not even freaking here. I wore my yellow for him. He loves when I wear my yellow. Unbelievable, JT, if you're out there watching. Bad mojo right out of I might have to withdraw from tonight's action just because the bad mojo going on.
It's not great. It's not great not having JT here. You know, I didn't think JT would be the first one to tap out. Things get a little aggressive here sometimes on Game Log Monday. JT, he didn't want the smoke for this Monday afternoon. So we'll go.
I was raring up to make fun of him too because he was in there doing his usual. Logan Gilbert is going to be 55% owned on a 7-game, not this and that. And I was ready to get on him. Now I can't even get on him.
I was going to join you on that train. I was ready to. I was firing myself up all day for this show, and it's just not going to be the same without JT. I feel like there's like a special, mix that we got, the three of us, where it just results in some fireworks. But like me and you and JT, me and JT, it's not going to be quite the same. So hopefully we'll find.
It's a 3-man. I mean, it is what it is. We need all three to be able to cast it properly because you need the gang up sessions. There's got to always be the 2-on-1 combat. It's not as fun just 1-on-1. There's no tiebreaker vote. There's no piling on.
The gang up 2v1 is a hallmark of the show. It feels like
gotta have the 2-on-1 action.
You love it. How'd golf end up, Big T? You're obviously a big golf guy. You do all right?
Yeah, it was. You talking about my trip or the actual pro one, the U.S. Open? You're probably talking about the U.S. Open. I got back from my golf trip too, but it was good. I mean, Bryson obviously killed me missing the cut. I had fun watching though, and I think I got like half back or something. I definitely lost. It definitely wasn't great, but I enjoyed it. I like it when they struggle. I like it when it's even par is a really good score. I don't like it when it's 30 under and all that nonsense. I like to watch them struggle like we struggle out there. It makes it fun for me.
The back nine was crazy. Burns just completely imploded. Man, he couldn't.
And then he got screwed with that ruling too, where they keep showing it, where they like made him hit out of a damn swamp. It's like he's already struggling enough, the whole thing. But yeah,
good for JJ Spawn though. Fun story to see him win.
I thought it was cool too because I don't know if you watched the whole day, but the beginning of the day he started like bad break. He had like 5 bogeys and 6 holes. Most people just pack it up and they're like, okay, it's not my day. Get me out of here. Let's move on. But he stuck with it and ends up coming back and winning the damn thing from it.
I think he was like +6 before the delay and then like -4 after, something crazy. And then Burns did the complete opposite, just completely imploded once they came back out there. But it was fun to watch for sure. We got Game 5 of the NBA Finals. I know you're on the OKC side pretty heavy. Still feeling good about that? Indiana's put up a fight, man.
Yeah, Indiana's been amazing. I was on Indiana the first couple series, got off them, and I had my biggest bet is already a loser because I had -1.5 game or 2.5 games, whatever it is, to win in 4 or 5. I already lost that, and my second biggest bet is to win -1.5. So I have to win in 6. So I got to win the next 2, or I'm going to lose both big bets. And am I as confident as I was? No, definitely not, because Indiana has played amazing and honestly matches up good with them. So, but I'm still rooting. I still feel now that they stole Game 4, I still feel pretty good about winning my in 6 bet. But am I super confident? Would I make the same bet? Put it that way? Probably not. I probably would take the L on those bets, but I'm still going to root and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Game 5 NBA Finals Monday night with a little baseball on the other TVs. This is a good Monday evening in middle of June.
Yeah, no question about it. Looking forward to the game. It does feel like this NBA playoffs has been like this. Seems like the whole way through, where kind of anything can happen. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see Indiana pull off the upset. And when you can get them like +350 or something to win. Like, feels like a big number considering how these games have gone.
I mean, honestly, every game, maybe not game two or game two, I think it was where they rolled them, but every other game. I mean, both games for sure in Indiana. Indiana was the better team, and they were close, but all things considered, Indiana's definitely been the right side. And I don't know, it's a big game tonight. If Indiana can somehow go in there and win again, I mean, you just have to tip your cap to them.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen. Just it's been that kind of playoffs.
Crazy how the NBA playoffs work too. Like where we thought OKC was so deep versus these other teams, Denver, Minnesota, both of our teams, Denver, Minnesota. They get in this series and all of a sudden they got like 4 guys that can play. You're like, man, that some of these bench guys don't. Hartenstein can't play. There's a bunch of guys that just can't play in this series. It's weird.
Yeah, well, the OKC can't use their too big lineup very often because Indiana just plays too fast. So I think that's kind of changed things a little bit too. Yeah, we can talk baseball. We got 7 games. Lone Wolf. We'll get to the baseball.
Wolf. We'll get out of here.
We'll get there. We'll get there now.
You got to be the only one in there. Like, I can't believe you're talking about NBA Finals. We got to get to the 7-game slate. Come on.
Yeah, do something else for a couple minutes if you're not interested. But we'll get to baseball. We got 7 games to talk about. We'll start off in Miami, and it is a 25-minute earlier start than normal. So 6:40 Eastern time. We'll kick off the slate in Miami. Rookie for the Phillies, Mick Abel had that amazing debut back in May against Pittsburgh. Has kind of slowly disintegrated since then. So it hasn't been good. Too good in the last 2, especially the last one against the Cubs. He's $9K, feels like a lot to me, even in a pretty good matchup against Miami. And then Sandy Alcantara on the other side. Been a very rough ride for old Sandy this year. I've played him more than I should have, and at least it's started to pay off a little bit in the last 2 starts. I still kind of believe in Sandy, but tough matchup here against the Phillies in Miami, though, so good place to pitch. Curious where you ended up here with Alcantara, Abel, and then the offenses. And I'll say this, Big T, I don't think there's really obvious offenses on this slate. It's kind of difficult to find anything that you really like. So that makes me think that everything is kind of in play if you really can't find something that you truly love. So I'm not trying to overlook anything here, but what do you see between the Phillies and the Marlins?
Totally agree with you where we have 7 games and we have, honestly, as we go through it, there's a lot of pitchers that you can sell yourself on that are in good enough spots, but there's holes in a lot of them too. And then offenses where I totally agree with you. Like nothing sticks off the page. You can go, these are the best nights to win tournaments though, because if you have strong takes, you can kind of go in a little heavier. And if you're right, you don't get the same ownership we get on other slates where we have clear cut spots. So I like these slates. Alcantara is definitely an interesting spot because, like you, he's been so talented for a long time.
I kind of like him here. I kind of like him at 10% ownership. I mean, that feels
which
low.
Is crazy, right? And it's not the same price point as it usually is. Where, I mean, last year this guy's 9 and 10K. Granted, he struggled, but now he's 7,200 in this ballpark, Miami, where it's a great pitcher's park. The Phillies lineup isn't like some just monster lineup right now where you have
Bryce Harper is a huge loss for them. Yeah.
And Real Muto, I'm just looking right now at some of the guys that were projected that aren't in. So you got Real Muto's not in there. You got, I mean, man, Bryce Harper obviously's been out, but this lineup, I just, man, it gets worse and worse. Castellanos, I don't worry about much against righties. I think I'm with you. I think the risky part for sure is he has been pretty bad a lot of starts where he's burned me a lot too with some of the stuff that's gone on. But you know how I am with ballparks, and we got a lot of good parks tonight. Washington's a pretty good park, bad team. The Yankees, good park, obviously. Tampa's been better this year. Seattle obviously sucks when we get to that. But then you got the A's and then the Dodgers, which kind of sucks. So you got a couple clear-cut spots. Miami's not going to be one where I really want offense. Even the Phillies pitcher, I took him out of my thing. What was his name?
Abel.
I mean, he looked good to me, but the biggest issue you're going to have with him is just this tag. I mean, 9K. I don't hate it, but it's going to be really hard to pay 9K for this guy in this spot. So I won't be on him. And honestly, I'm not going to be on much offense in this game either. Like I said, I think we'll find better spots as we go through, at least upside. I don't see the upside in this spot because I do think Abel's pretty talented. I know Alcantara is probably talented. I'm just choosing pitching in this game, even though I'm not playing Abel. I don't see a ton at all offensively.
I'm with you. This is the game I think I like the offenses the least overall. And yeah, Sandy, I mean, one of the reasons I've been a little stubborn with him is just the stuff has still been there. I mean, he's still throwing like 98, 99 with a good, hard slider. Like you watch him pitch and you say, this guy should be good. He's had a lot of bad luck. And also, he's coming off the Tommy John surgery. Sometimes it takes a little while to get going, to get stronger. We're actually seeing it. We saw it over the weekend a little bit with Spencer Strider, and maybe Sandy is turning a corner. At 7% ownership at that price point in this park, I don't know. I got to find out, right? I got to be over the field at that number. So
JT Hayes isn't on here. We start agreeing because the chat's saying that JT Hayes hates Alcantara. Where you at, JT? We want to make fun of you.
We need him on here to gang up on him because he would be having to defend himself for sure on that one. Anything else, T, on Miami, Philly?
T. Lally says he'd rather play Santi Aldama.
Aldama. What'd you think of the Desmond Bain trade, by the way?
I thought it was a good trade for both teams, honestly. Memphis needs to blow it up, and Orlando needed a guy like Bain. So I like it more for Orlando because I'm still one that, especially in NBA, I don't think those picks in the 20s mean that much. So if you can throw them in, don't get me wrong. If you're Dallas and you just fall into the number one pick somehow, obviously that changes things. But, I mean, Orlando's going to be a good team for the next 5-6 years. You're not going to get that good of picks for it, and they don't care about KCP and whatever other bums, Cole Anthony or whatever other bum they threw in there. I like it for Orlando, but I also think Memphis needs to blow that team up. So I didn't mind it.
Yeah, Suggs, Bain, Franz, and Paulo is pretty good, right. I think. Front four.
And you got a lot of role pieces to go with that too, like the other Wagner, a bunch of role pieces that they're going to be tough. I mean, they're going to get good quick.
Yeah, no question. Brief NBA aside, we'll get back to baseball here. Washington Nationals and Rockies. This one in DC at Nationals Park. Going to be 70 degrees, a little bit of wind blowing in for Jake Irvin versus Carson Palmquist. We saw over the week. I mean, it's been a thing all season, Big T. I nicknamed the Rockies the Paste Eaters pretty early on, and honestly, I've just been essentially streaming pitching against this team, home or away. I don't see any reason to do anything different, even with Jake Irvin, who I don't play very often, but this team, you can just play anyone against them. Irvin, pretty good against right-handed hitters. This is a mostly right-handed lineup. Bad bullpen. I think they'll let Irvin go as long as he can. And I mean, Grant Holmes got 15 strikeouts yesterday. Strider got 13 on Saturday. I'm not expecting that from Irvin, but I wouldn't be shocked if he gets 8 or 9 here. So I'm in on Irvin, out on Palmquist, pretty much out on the Rockies bats. I do think the Nationals are pretty interesting here. They did call up their top prospect, Brady House. Not available in the DraftKings player pool, much to our guy Captain's he's rather upset about that. But he is on FanDuel at 2K, so you can play him over there. But over to UT, Nationals, Rockies. What are you doing with Irvin here? And then talk about the rest of this game as well, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to just keep agreeing because I think Jake Irvin sucks, but he's good enough where the Rockies are just so legendarily bad that you just kind of close your eyes and just throw them. I mean, I wrote down some I like I said every week on the show, I like looking at the last 30 days for pitchers' numbers and stuff. One of the only stats I really look at, but the Rockies start striking out 28% the last 30 days. I mean, that's pretty insane. And even though Irvin doesn't strike a ton of guys out, It's the freaking Rockies. And is Irvin going to be like the first guy I go on? No, but like $5 again on Mondays. Another reason I like doing this show on Mondays, $5 where you can put a bunch of teams in. I want Irvin. I mean, they only got him projected about 20% owned. I want to be definitely above the field on Irvin where I can just throw him. He probably won't be on my main team, though, if I'm being honest. I like some other guys, but I definitely like where he's at. The Rockies are just so bad.
If you look at Irvin's, it's Monday. If you look at his game log, he's really he seems like he's very matchup dependent. He's pitched well in the good matchups, including in Coors Field against the Rockies, where he got 9 strikeouts over 6 1/3 innings and put up 30 DraftKings points. It's like, and this lineup hasn't gotten any better. It's not in Coors Field. It's a pretty nice night to pitch, and you're going to get 100 pitches against the Rockies out of this guy. I'm in on Irvin. He might be my favorite pitcher on the entire slate, which isn't something I really would expect to say about Jake Irvin, but it's just the Rockies, right? Like, you're going to get 100 pitches against the Rockies. You're going to get a bunch of strikeouts. They're just
it's definitely, like I said, I think this slate is super interesting because I really like a lot of different pitchers for sure. I think I want to spread it around a little bit, but I agree with you, Irvin. I don't know. I don't think he's my favorite, but I definitely think he's, like I said, I want to be above the field. If it's 20%, I want to be 30, 40%. I actually don't hate Palmquist either. I know I'm not usually the one that plays the cheapies, but I like his talent.
That's something I would say, Big T, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I believe me. I knew when I said it that it was going to be. It's just he's a lefty, which I like lefties against. Washington more because obviously their best guys are lefties. And I just feel like this price point can get us to some of those bigger. It's exactly what you usually say. I'm stealing your role with JT not here. I'm playing the grease ball so I can play the big hitters. And again, same thing we're saying. Like, look at this ownership. It's what I'm trying to get better at. If he's 5% owned, I mean, maybe I play, and it could be just a price point thing where I stack up who's expensive. The Yankees. I play Judge, and I play a couple guys in there, and I load it in there, and it makes me play a 5,500 pitcher. I am okay with that. And then flip side to that, though, you got guys that I really like in the chat. I see Alex Callnight. I mean, he is just an awesome play at 3,700. I mean, so I talked about the Nats against lefties. Obviously, Wood and Abrams, the two just monsters on the team. I do not like them as much against the left, even though it's a bad lefty. Bad bullpen behind it, too, I'll say that, which you get in there, you're going to crush. But like Alex Gall, though, I love him. Rosario, I've always liked him against lefties. I don't know who this dude is, but he's hitting 4th for 2,900. I absolutely love that. I mean, maybe I do. Maybe I should have more interest because even the prices on these guys at the bottom, I think even as I'm looking at it, I'm starting to like Washington more and more because these price points can do a lot of things for you. And if I did stack Washington, and honestly, I wouldn't need their good guys for the first time ever. I don't mind if I get them. I'm not saying don't play CJ Abrams because he's facing a freaking bad lefty, but if you can build a stack without those two guys, and then maybe you get 2 stud pitchers plus a Judge one-off plus whatever, whoever you want to throw in there. But I actually like some of these bats on the Washington side.
Yeah. So the guy hitting 4th, Andres Chaparro, he does look like a good hitter, like a slugging first baseman. Was kind of ripping it up in the minors, but the problem is they have both Lowe and I think Bell on the bench, so he's probably coming out when Palmquist does. But I'm with you on Call. I'm fine with the
Does he come out though if they're up like 8-0 is the question. This is always what I tell JT Hayes too, because he always says that same stuff where it's like they come out, and I'm like, you're playing a stack for the upside though, right? So like when you stack it, if they're at 8, maybe he just stays in and faces shitty pitchers all night because of it.
100%. And I did mention that looks like a pretty good hitter because I do still think he's in play at 2,900. He hits a home run first time up, and you're good to go. So,
how many games does he play? How long has he been up? I haven't
seen
just
two games. He just came up. Yeah. But he definitely has power. There's no question about it, which is what you're looking for here. In that cleanup spot against Palmquist. Yeah. To me, the pitching is strong on this slate, right? Like, I really like Jake Irvin. They've got a couple expensive guys that I think we're both going to like. And then I like Sandy a lot too. So I don't know if I'll get to Palmquist, but I get it. I wouldn't be shocked to see him throw a good game at, super cheap and no ownership. Get you those big bats. Could certainly work
And he's
out.
literally only a $5 play for me, like where it's the $5.
Yep.
Like I'm not putting him in my whatever my higher stakes would be. It's just a $5. Like it's just an ownership play. Like if he's 5%, it just gets me some exposure. Maybe he gets like his projection. I got him at 12. I mean, if he gets in this area for 5,500, it could be good.
Yeah, I think 12 or 13 points out of that price tag would keep you right in there. If he's got to obviously hit on the big bats. Yeah, Irvin feels like a trap. Man, it's just so rare.
Say that every night for the Rockies game.
Exactly. yeah, and I don't love playing these pitches that I just don't like and haven't ever been on. That's what makes me most uncomfortable. But I just have to play against the Rockies. The matchup against the Rockies just overrules everything, right? I mean, that's just what it is.
Just do it every single day the rest of the year and just take your chances. Like, just do it.
Yep, you'll end up doing well, no question about it. Yankees and Angels up next in Yankee Stadium. Going to be a little cooler with some wind blowing in, so not super hitter-friendly here. We've got Clark Schmidt going. He's going to be, I think, the second highest owned pitcher on this slate. Maybe 40% owned, something like that for Clark Schmidt. Makes sense. Good matchup here. High strikeout upside, I think, for Clark Schmidt against this Angels team. Not a completely safe matchup. Angels have plenty of power, and it is still a decent home run park. But, yeah, overall, Schmidt, I think, looks like a good play. And then on the other side, Jose Soriano coming off kind of out of nowhere, an absolutely dominant performance against the A's. 12 strikeouts, 35 DraftKings points. If our guy JT was here, there's no way he'd be on Soriano coming off the game of his life. And I don't think I'm on him here either, but I did look into that start just because it was so out of the ordinary for Soriano. And he did change some things up. He essentially ditched his four-seamer and splitter and focused on his other three pitches. And I mean, a noticeable difference for Soriano. And then there's the systems that grade, the stuff, which is kind of adds up the pitches that you actually used in the game. And his number shot through the roof from where it was. So potentially something there for Soriano going forward, but I don't know if this is the spot to use it. So I'm probably not going to use Soriano, but I'm a little torn on it just because of the little research I did there. But where'd you end up, T? Schmidt, Soriano, I think a big decision on Schmidt here, and then kind of big decisions on these Yankees bats too, because there's not that many good offenses. Obviously, the Yankees have some of the better hitters on the slate in their lineup. They do get Giancarlo Stanton back for the first time this season, so a little bit more power and strikeouts added to the Yankees lineup. Over to you, Tony, for Yankees and Angels.
Yeah, the Angels are like the Astros for me, where whenever it's a good right-handed pitcher against them, I'm always going to like it. They just don't have any lefties. I mean, how many do they have tonight? I don't have
two. Just two. Yep.
Who is it? It's Chanel and
Shanuel and Rengifo. Yeah.
Rengifo because he's a switch hitter.
Yep.
There is the only right. Either way, I like the spot for Schmidt. He's going to be chalky for sure in the 30s. For me, though, he's clearly my number one. And the matchup looks great. They're striking out 24%. He's been pretty much a safe guy all year, but I think he's got upside too. I really like the spot for Schmidt here. And like you said, I think this is a tricky spot for offense where I definitely don't like the Angels side. One of the lower totals, one of the worst atmospheres tonight for runs. And even the Yankees, I don't want to have none of, because another thing you said that makes sense is they definitely have upside on this slate where you got a lot of big boppers in there. Bellinger, Stanton's back in the 5. I mean, you got Jazz batting 6th. The only just total dust ball is still DJ LeMahieu, but he's hitting 9th, so who cares? I don't love it, though. It's not going to be my favorite just because of the park. And I think Soriano is capable of doing what he does. I mean, he's had plenty of huge games. Like Uncle T said, we got big Bill Miller behind the plate, which helps pitchers. I'm definitely not crazy about the offense in this game, but I just want to be clear. I'll definitely have some in the $5 where you just have to have some Yankees on a slate like this, in my opinion, where they could score 10 and the rest of the slate could score 5 or something tops. So I want some Yankees, but more so than not, it's Clark Schmidt, my number one pitcher of the night. And I don't know. I don't think I'll play Soriano, even though I think it's a good spot. This lineup is just, I don't really want to mess with this lineup on a slate where we like a lot of pitchers.
Yeah.
It's kind of your point about like using like an Irvin, right? How can I realistically use Soriano, even with the upside, over like Irvin when one's facing this lineup and one's facing the Rockies? Like how? How can I do that?
It's hard to do. The only thing that makes me maybe want to play a share of Soriano on my 5 lineups is just the fact that he might have really switched something up, and it might be a little bit before the league adjusts back to it. He's 5% owned. He's 7K. And there is still strikeouts in that lineup, right? Like I know a ton of power, but it's not a good night for power in Yankee Stadium, and they do swing and miss a lot, the Yankees do. So I think Soriano's a reasonable play at the ownership number, which is obviously super low. And yeah, the Yankees, too, it's like on a bigger slate, I don't know. I might go somewhere else, but there's just not that many good spots to go to for hitting. So I think they just have to be almost in play by default, but it doesn't feel super great plugging those guys in. Yeah. Let's go to a really good hitting environment, or at least it should be in Tampa. The Rays are back at home here. 2 righties, Ryan Pepio going for the Orioles, Zach Eflin Eflin for the Orioles, Pepio for the Rays, rather. And yeah, like always, hot, humid, winds blowing out. And this park should play very home run friendly here. The Orioles they've been disappointing all year, but I don't think the worst spot for them. And I do really like the Rays lefties at the top of this lineup, especially against Eflin, who's a good pitcher, but does give up plenty of power, throws a bunch of strikes. I think the Rays are, in my opinion, your best bet for home runs on this slate. Big T, what do you see here? Orioles and Rays.
Yeah, it's another spot on the slate where I think both pitchers are in play too. Even though I like the offense in this spot, I can make a case for both pitchers too. Both have shown pretty good consistency. Both have upside, and both priced pretty affordable, which is one of the things about this slate. There's a lot of guys in like that 7K range where it just makes sense. I mean, Baltimore's let people down all year too. So, but another thing, I mean, these lefties at the top, like you said, Josh Lowe, Brandon Lau, Aranda.
Yeah.
These guys got power. I don't know if I want to full stack Tampa because I don't love the bottom of the lineup. But, man, as far as the best plays on the slate, those three of those top 4 might be some of the best on the slate. So you got a lot of upside there. It might be more of a mini stack for me with Tampa, but I mean, Brandon Lau always is one of my favorites in this spot. And Eflin has always been a guy. Again, this could be getting me made fun of. It's in my head. I don't have any numbers backing it. I just love him against righties and I hate him against lefties. It's how it's always been with him. And it's just everything you said checks out for me. So I'm on that. And then the other side, I don't know what to do with freaking Baltimore. They just let me pull them up on here. They have been so bad all year for me. I don't love the lineup. I do like a few bats, but man, when you get to the bottom and you got guys like Kowser and Carlson, Cedric Mullins has been pretty bad after a hot start. And their prices, like the prices are somewhat high too. But then you get back to the point of what you said. You got a pretty good atmosphere, good park, a lot of things check it out. It's the story of the slate. You're going to have to make some decisions because and in Baltimore, we both think they have a lot of talent too. So my issue is I just keep playing Baltimore over and over and over and over. And they've been better the last, 2-3 weeks, but they still have cost me just a ton. I don't ever remember them being the winner for me, really. So I don't know. This is going to be a boring take, but this game's pretty neutral to me where I want some stacks. I mean, look at these ownerships, 9% or so. I definitely want some stacks of this game, but I also want the pitchers. So it's kind of a cop-out, but it's also how I'm going to play it with my own personal team. So I want to be clear with that. If I had to choose, I probably like the pitchers more than the hitters here, but the atmosphere it's probably the second best on the slate, right? I mean, you got Yankees is like you said, somewhat bad weather. Tampa's good. The A's is going to be great atmosphere there, but this is one of the better ones for sure. So I agree a lot with you. And some of these guys for Baltimore are just in a smash spot too towards the top, both top lineups, but these top four right here, and they're all in the 4Ks too, which is nice. My issue is I do struggle a little bit with the bottom of the lineup, all these guys. So maybe it's more of just a mini stack type game for me all the way around.
I mean, if you look at just how this park like gives up the home runs, it's mostly out to right field, where it's like the best park in MLB, and that's exactly what you want. I mean, that's all the good hitters in this game are swinging from the left side, right, against the righty. So you have the Josh Lowe, Brandon Lau, Aranda. I mean, those like they hit a lot of home runs out to right field just as a trio. That's their strength.
Right? Are the Rays the best team in the last month?
They've been crushing, putting up a lot of runs. So we talked about the Lowe, Brandon Lau, Aranda. Those three lefties, I think, are the best three Rays. But, like, I mean, Yandy Diaz at 4,200. And then the other guy I really like is Junior Caminero, who's playing pretty well. Mangum, Meisner, I think, are okay. But
Mangum? Did you say Mangum?
Mangum. Jake Mangum.
You scared me for a minute. I thought there was someone named Mangone out there.
We can only dream. Mangone, we need a Mangone in the major leagues for sure.
How was Mangone 4,100? What has he been crushing?
I'd love to see Mangone try to hit some major league pitching. That would be an entertaining watch. Boot and all, get on that
with the boot too.
Are you looking at Henderson, O'Hearn, Holiday? I mean, it's kind of weird because it's like the same approach from both these teams. I think you mostly want the lefties at the top of the lineup, look like the upside plays on both sides.
Yeah, love it.
All right, Boston and Seattle up next. 2-hour break between Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Boston, and Seattle. So maybe some adjustments to be made there for lineups. We don't have, I don't think, any of these lineups in the later games.
Just got Boston. I got it on there if you want to look at it.
But yeah, we've got Logan Gilbert returning from injury here, 9,700. So no real price discount from where he was, and hasn't pitched in almost 2 months now. Did make 3 rehab starts, building up from I think he went like 40, 60, 72 pitches. So I'm expecting around 85 pitches for Logan Gilbert, who will take on the Rafael Devers-less Red Sox. Kind of a crazy trade out of nowhere. I guess not out of nowhere, but still a crazy trade when someone that big moves. Devers no longer on the Red Sox, obviously, and he's one of the more dangerous bats for a pitcher like Logan Gilbert. So Gilbert looks good here to me. Looks like ownership will reflect that, though. It does look like he's going to be the highest owned pitcher on the slate. Lucas Giolito on the other side, coming off a good outing. I can't do it with Giolito, but I do like playing pitchers against the Seattle team, especially in Seattle in general. So I'm not really on the Mariners bats, but I don't think I'm playing Giolito either. And then Gilbert, I think, is kind of right there with Clark Schmidt as one of the safer pitchers, at least on the board. Ownership does make me a little uneasy, but totally understand why. Big T, what are you doing with Red Sox and Mariners here?
Yeah, and you got just maybe my favorite pitchers park too on top of it. I mean, Seattle just I just even with all the power Seattle has, like they crush everywhere they go, all these bombs. This park just is tough. And this lineup from Boston, I get what everyone's saying about Gilbert. He's coming off, but he still had 3 rehab starts, worked up to the 70s. I think it was like 5 scoreless innings too. Granted, it's AAA. Who cares? Whatever. But still, he built up into the 70s, and he's facing a AAA lineup tonight in Boston. So I think I just have to play it. I do agree with you, though, that, like, he's probably not the most upside ever in the world. But, man, I feel confident that – where's he at? His projection about 20, low 20s. I feel pretty confident that he gets us to 20. I feel – unless he somehow just, like, if something happens with his elbow or so, was it an elbow injury or something?
Yeah.
Like, unless something flares up, which you can't bank on that. He's had 3 rehab starts. I love Gilbert tonight. I think he gets to, like, high 80s, like 90 pitches would be my number. Just 72 in AAA. It probably depends on how it goes, too. Like, is it in the middle of an inning when it gets to those numbers or what? Either way, I absolutely love Logan Gilbert. I think it's just such a good freaking spot. Who else's lineup? Maybe we just got, hopefully. We did just get Seattle's lineup, so nice. Let's see what their lineup looks like. Looks pretty standard because all the guys at the bottom were guys that we didn't really think would be in. But I just don't like this park. And like you said, you got a great spot in Tampa. Washington's against the Rockies. You got the A's as we get to it. I'm going to love always in that park. So I don't know. I'm probably just going to spread out pitchers tonight and only play a few different stacks is how I'm going to do it. Seattle isn't going to be a team I love in this spot. Will I have one-offs like Camporeale, Jorge Polanco down to 3,800 because he struggled? Even Rowdy at 2,600. I can use all these cheapies down here. So I can definitely use the Seattle guys as one-offs or a mini stack. Definitely not going to full stack, though, in this spot and park.
Yeah, always got to include Camporeale in the pool with how many home runs he hits. I do think he's a really strong play catcher. But, yeah, I'm with you. Probably not full stacking here.
What does this mean? Top guys for steal like to steal. What does that mean?
I also was unable to decipher the question. So let us know, Sports Better, and we'll try to answer your question. Just the Gilbert thing. I mean, expensive, chalky, and perhaps some limitations all mean that I don't think you have to play Gilbert, but still a good play. But then the other thing, like, it's possible that he has a full go, right? I mean, they take him out after 72 pitches. He went 5 innings. It's AAA. I mean, you're going to throw him back out there for the 6th. So who knows?
And they could have just liked what they saw, too.
Yes.
Like, he looks good. Like, let's get him back up.
Exactly. We don't need to waste another inning when he looks perfect and good to go. So I do think that is in play as well. And, Gilbert.
You don't need salary tonight. Like, per pitcher, I almost think who scores the most points? Like, who – I don't know. I get it, but I never worry about ownership at all with pitcher. Yeah. I know that I'm probably in the minority of that. I just play them, though.
Yeah, I do think, I mean, you can kind of build your offense out, and I do think there are pitchers at different price points you can use and kind of plug in there, right? Like, if I have, Irvin and Sandy, I'm okay with that. But if it's, if I have the salary for Gilbert and Schmidt on that team, I would go that way too. So it does seem like a day to prioritize your offensive builds and then plug in pitchers you're comfortable with. Next game on the slate, Houston and the the A's in Sacramento. As we mentioned, good hitting environment here, as it always is. Winds blowing out, hot, and good home run park. JP Sears going for the A's here.
I don't think he's going anymore. Not to correct.
Really?
I think the other bum, whatever the other.
Spence?
Yeah, I think they changed both guys in this game, I think. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, though.
I missed that if it happened. So McCullers definitely went to the IL. It's going to be Ryan Gusto for Houston, who I don't think I want to play Gusto.
You're not going to play any pitchers in this game.
Right. I'm not playing any pitchers in this game. So let's talk about the offenses. And I mean, it does matter a ton if it's Sears or not. Are you pretty sure it's not?
I'm pretty sure it's the other guy, but I'm not 100% sure. So it is a big difference as far as one's a lefty, one's a righty, I believe, though.
And Sears you really want to target with a power righty. So
I hope Sears is in. Just
I know
meatballs in there.
I know. I really want to play the Houston. Sears is like the worst possible matchup
Literally.
the best matchup for.
I think that's one of the reasons they're not throwing him though. Like they're looking at it like, how are we going to throw this dude against all these righties?
I wouldn't start him either if I was a manager. I'd be like, no, thanks. I'm going in a different direction. So
let's hope they do though, because I mean, Houston. The chat's talking about how chalky Houston is for a good reason. They're in the best ballpark and they're going against a fly ball lefty.
Yeah, they were by far my favorite stack. So now, like the only good stack might not, or one of the only good ones might not be available. I mean, I have way less interest in Houston if it's Mitch Spence, who's not great, but
correct.
He's not a soft tossing lefty that gives up bombs. So it's a huge difference. So yeah, let's, I guess, talk about it as if Spence and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Gusto going for Houston. Assuming it is those two, what are you going to do with the offenses in this game?
My favorite stack of the night is going to be the A's, and it's going to be these lefties that are towards the top of the lineup. We don't have a lineup yet, but you got Lawrence Butler, you got Soderstrom, you got Kurtz. If that dude's in there, the lefty, I'm pretty sure he'll be in there against.
Oh yeah, he'll be in.
2,800. I love that. So the only problem is that's the only three lefties though going against Gusto. But I would definitely play those three in my stack, and then obviously I have no problem playing these stud guys: Wilson, Rooker, Muncy's been pretty good. I just love the matchup. Gusto sucks, and the A's at home I love. I'm with you though, Houston. If it's Sears, Houston's by far my favorite stack of the night. One of my favorite stacks of the year, probably. All those righties against Sears in this park. If it flips, though, I don't think enough people will adjust to the fact that the pitching matchup is totally different. Houston will still be probably just as chalky or close to just as chalky, and I just won't like it near as much. Will I have some Houston? Of course, I'm going to still have some Houston in this ballpark. But instead of being overweight, I want to be a little underweight on Houston if the pitching matchup does change.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if it changes kind of late, right? Like the closer it is to game time, the less people are going to make the switch. So yeah, we'll see what the A's end up doing, but it's just hard.
He said the A's lineup's out. Let's see.
Yeah, we do have it. So they've got Butler, Soderstrom, Kurtz, and JJ Bleday swinging from the left side.
Oh, they got us a fourth one in there. I like that.
Yeah. First base is loaded today, but I do like Nick Kurtz a ton there. Bleday makes some. I mean, all those lefties make sense, and obviously can include the Jacob Wilsons and Brent Rooker if you want to go in that direction. So I'm with you. A's look really good. And then Houston, it just depends on who pitches. We want to be overweight against Sears and probably underweight against Spence because
Sears has to be the best matchup in the world for Houston.
I know.
It just has to be.
Okay. Looks like Spence is officially starting, people are saying. So, maybe we'll get JP Sears tomorrow or something like that. But probably going to be mostly off the Astros here. What about you? You still mix them in even with Spence?
It's going to make it a tough spot because, I mean, look at these ownerships. I mean, these ownerships are astronomical, which I don't care about that much, but
they're going to go down.
Totally different. It's a totally different matchup, though, and it's not near as good. And Mitch Spence isn't like amazing or anything, but again, like Sears is the best possible matchup for Houston. And I just don't, even the projections won't account for the change. They just won't. So, like, I'm with you. I will definitely have some Houston, though. I'm not saying to fade them because it's still a 7-game slate with 2 or 3 parks that I hate. There's still only like 5-6 stacks I like. So I want some Houston, but just let's say they're 20% owned. I want to be around 10 to 15% of the 20. I want to be below.
Yeah, I want to be
Another thing about Houston, too, though, that makes it tough is just they're just so cheap in this park. Like, it's hard to not play any of them.
For sure. And people that already have their lineups in with Houston, I mean, Mitch Spence isn't so scary that you would have to switch it, so whatever. Like
Spence sucks, too. Like, he's not good. He's just the matchup's not as good.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to the last game of the slate. We'll go back over pitching, stacks, all that stuff after we talk about the Dodgers and the Padres. Fun one here. Shohei Ohtani going to make his return to the mound, I think just for one inning. And then it's going to be really interesting what they do. I think he's going to have to come out of this game pretty early because I think they have a DH in there, so he can't switch to that. So once he's out of the game pitching, I'm not sure what they're going to do with Ohtani. I guess they could maybe put him in the outfield, but we'll see. Dylan Cease going for San Diego. I just don't play pitcher.
Question, but why can't he just be the DH?
Because they already have one in there. So the DH usually is in for the pitcher, but then
you can't just do both though. You can't just have.
No, he can't go to DH if they have a DH already. So it would have to come out of the game.
Why can't he just be the DH though? That's what I'm asking. Like, why can't?
Oh no, he can't. He can't do that.
Can't. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's not many times the pitcher like is involved like that. So I honestly didn't even know.
Yeah. I mean, it seems weird for me to even say, but I think there's a chance he only gets one at bat in this game.
It's a tough matchup anyways. It has to. I mean, Cease just destroyed this team. Destroyed them last week.
Yeah. I don't play pitchers against the Dodgers, and I'm probably not going to here, but yeah, I mean, he did it last week. I would expect this one to go differently for Dylan Cease, who is, I mean, he's just all over the place. He'll have these big outings, and then he'll get blown up. Sounds like you might have more interest in
that's big for me because you lose Ohtani. That helps the matchup a decent amount.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure he's coming out of the game, but that's what I think is going to happen. You're in on Cease? Sounds like maybe more than I am.
I mean, again, it's the story of the slate. Am I like in love with them? No, but if he's going to be 10, 15% owned, and he just went for 37 on this team, I'm going to have some for sure. And he's got more upside than probably anyone on the slate as far as just pure strikeout upside. Does he get beat up at times? Absolutely. He always has. He's super up and down, but he 100% can win you a tournament too. So I'll have some of him, and the Dodgers are going to honestly be a total fade for me tonight or close to it. I like a lot of spots, and I just don't like to pick on San Diego that much. Their pitching staff's good. Cease is good. With Ohtani maybe coming out, like you said, I don't love the Dodgers here. So one of my stronger takes will be, I guess they're not that high owned, but either way, I'm not planning to play them at all tonight.
Yeah, this is possible too. They might have changed the rule so he can be the DH. People in chat seem to think he's going to be in there. I
just assumed you can make him the DH. Like, I didn't. Again, I know nothing about baseball. I want this to be clear. I just, in my head, I didn't see why he wouldn't be able to just be the DH. I think technically it should be two different humans.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they don't have another DH in the lineup, then that would mean that maybe he gets to be the DH. They changed the rule, I think.
Who should we look for? Like, who would be the DH if it wouldn't let him do it? Because you got like Will Smith catcher. I'm just trying to eyeball who.
Yeah,
Brady.
I think they kind of rotate around the DH. They don't have like a set one. But yeah,
they could pull him too though, just because it's the first time he threw. So you're not it's not like you're totally wrong what you're saying, anyways. They want to work him back into the pitching thing. Maybe they let him throw an inning and then they just pull him for the night too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how could they have if you like a normal team has a pitcher and then a DH, right, and someone else. But anyway, we'll try to figure that out.
The position players have to bat. He's a pitcher. That's what he's saying. I don't know the rule again, but there could easily be another DH. There's always another DH and a pitcher. Every team has a DH and a pitcher.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You in on the offenses here? What was your conclusion?
I'm definitely out on these offenses. This is one of my clear-cut spots that Dodgers, Ohtani, and bullpen game, which Dodgers have a pretty good bullpen game. I'm not going to like the Padres in this park, and I don't like the Dodgers against Cease. So, honestly, outside of Boston, who I have no interest in Boston, this is and I honestly don't have much interest in the Angels. Angels, Boston, and this game are the four that I'm least on the whole slate.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I mean, just two really good bullpens. You're division game, right? So you're going to see the best arms. These teams really trying to keep it, keep the scoring down. So I'm with you. I think for offenses, probably the least interesting. Looks like we got there's the Mariners lineup. That's 7 games. Let's go back over pitching, Big T. How many pitchers do you think you're going to include in the pool, and which ones do you think you're going to be most important in your success tonight?
Let me pull it up here. I can't find the freaking pitchers. Why doesn't it show me pitchers on Sabre? Oh, because I got the Dodgers. Okay, here we go.
There it is.
So yeah, for pitchers, I mean, for sure, my favorite two for sure are Gilbert and Schmidt, but they're also the chalkiest. Like I do a lot, I don't worry as much about. I just really like both guys, but I like Irvin with you. He would be number 3, and then just a mixed bag the rest of the way down. I'll have a little bit of all. I don't see anyone else below those 3 that I want to go crazy on. So, who will be my 2 most important? It's the chalk, the 2 chalky guys.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's good to play the chalk.
Where's JT? We need more arguments. I've agreed too much with you. You've agreed too much with me. Where are you at, JT Hayes? We can't be agreeing this much.
Yeah, we needed him in here. He'll be back next week, I'm sure.
What about when we win first place tonight, win all the money? We're not going to let him come back next week.
He's done for good if we win all the money tonight, that's for sure. For me, Irvin and Schmidt, and then I'll have Gilbert mixed in and some Alcantara and maybe a little bit of Jose Soriano. But Irvin, my favorite, and then, Schmidt and Gilbert kind of splitting between those 2 all the way up top. Stacks, Tony, your top 2 stacks on the slate.
Definitely the A's are my favorite stack, and I think you talked me into Tampa Bay with how hot they've been, with the matchup the way it is. I wasn't going to full stack them, but I do feel like they're creeping up for me. And just looking at the rest of the board, there's not a ton that, like I said, I want to spread my pitchers around a little bit and not play a ton of offenses. Houston, I lost Houston, which made me kind of pick another team that I wanted. I think it'd be Tampa. But number 1 for sure for me is the A's, especially with them giving us a 4th lefty in there and JJ Bleday, like you said. So I'm going to play those 4 lefties, and then whatever righty fits in there, maybe Rooker or whoever the righty is that fits my build.
Yeah, the Astros were going to be number 1 easily for me against Sears, but no longer against Spence. They went from my favorite.
Where do you rank the Astros now? Like, where do you put them in your list? Way down?
Way down, just because I think they're going to be overowned because of the matchup that they had before. So, yeah, I went from favorite stack to honestly one of my least favorite. I'm off the Astros. The Rays are my number 1, especially those lefties against Zach Eflin, and then I'm with you on the A's too. All those lefties against Gusto, who's just been hammered by left-handed bats in his brief big league career. So it looks like a good spot for home runs from both the Rays and the A's. Hopefully they'll end up getting the job done. Give us a home run call, T, and then we'll get on out of here.
Home run call. I got to go someone from my A's. So let's go Kurtz. Let's go Big Kurtz. 2,800 lefty, 5-hole. He's treated me right too a bunch of times this year already. For a guy that doesn't play every day, he's treated me really, really good. So I'll be go with him. I bet he's got decent odds tonight too.
He should. I like the Nick Kurtz call for sure. I will go to the Rays and go leadoff dong from Mr. Josh Lowe to kick it off in Tampa, hopefully.
Maybe my favorite, like we always make fun of the platoons. Maybe my favorite platoon in all of baseball is Brandon Lau against righties. Like I literally love the guy.
He's going yard tonight, so we'll both be low.
Lau and Lowe. Can we call? Is that confirmed? Is that Lowe and Lau for sure for both those guys, or can I just call them both Lowe?
I can never remember which one is which, so I just guess every time. I have no idea. I can't.
If you sound certain, it works. Like you made me second guess myself what they're called. So I'm
pretty sure I've called each of them the other name multiple times.
It's one way to do it, though. Just flip it every time you say it, and then you can't be wrong.
I just randomly pick one, whatever Whatever comes up.
Here's one too from Mama Rocks. Ohtani will only accrue. No, he'll accrue pitching or hitting points, not pitching. Yeah, he's not getting any pitching points. Yeah. You got to get Captain. Talk to Captain. He's got to get DraftKings to honor this to where we can have 2 different Ohtanis. Come on, Captain, get the job done.
I've actually been complaining about that for like 9 years, but I don't have the sway that Captain does, so maybe Captain can make it happen. We're going to get on out of here, though. Me and Boynton will be back same time, same place tomorrow. Appreciate everybody watching. We'll be in the Discord answering questions, doing cores, all that good stuff for Big T. I'm Draft Sheet. We're out of here.